Okay. Hey everybody. Um, it is very late here, but I wanted to get this video out. Um, so actually, this is just like a little precursor. Most of the video is going to be um, footage from a project that I'm working on, which will later go on to be used in a specific project video. But this is kind of just like all the raw footage of what I was doing this evening. Um, so before I get into that any further, there were a few things that I wanted to mention um, since I'm trying to get back into the habit of posting regularly again and actually working on um, all the stuff that I should be working on, uh, building up the channels and stuff. And so anyway, I wanted to explain for anybody that might be watching what the purpose of this channel is, because it's a very general channel and it's got different functions. Like it's kind of serving different purposes. Like one is to serve as a general repository for like any any kind of content that I create, um, and then yeah, it can go on to promote content specific channels that I have that I'm working on. But the other function of this channel is to um, give a little bit of a window into my life um, for like friends and family back home, and for strangers too, whatever I guess. But intended for friends and family because I'm living abroad right now, and it's a little difficult to keep in touch with everyone. And even when you do keep in touch, it's like um, there's only so much you can share. So this is a way to boost uh, how much I could, you know, share with other people. Um, so at times, this channel will have all different kinds of stuff on it. Sometimes it'll be goofy, sometimes it'll be personal, sometimes it'll be serious, sometimes it'll be random, but never sexual. This channel will never be sexual because I have another channel for that. I'm just kidding. I don't have a channel for that. Is that it? Is that it? Is everything okay? So onto the other stuff. So this evening I was working on making a mold of my head so that I could create a replica of my head to um, to work off of for future projects and the current project that I'm working on. So I'll use it for maybe creating a costume, doing costume design, making like prosthetic face piece or whatever. Um, but I'll also use it for custom fit headgear, protective gear, whatever. And the thing that I'm working on right now is I'm trying to develop some designs, some design concepts for making surgical masks fit better, custom fit designs, but also some other types of designs that maybe work with other kinds of protective gear, like custom fit masks that work with respirator cartridges. So I'm just trying to develop uh, some ideas to understand what really is the most effective, um, and the processes for custom fitting something for somebody. So yeah, the idea is if you make something custom, it could be um, you know more efficient because you could make it um, a little slimmer, it'll be less bulky, um, because something that's one size fits all to try to make it comfortable, usually they're going to make it larger so that there's more cushion. So, um, the idea is if you make it custom fit, it could be the lightest and most efficient design possible, um, and the most effective because you're going to have a perfect seal. So anyway, I don't really want to talk that much about it now. I'll just show you the video. Okay, so I'm not going to stop recording for anything, even if I lose my train of thought, say something stupid, or have a brain fart, or anything like that, because it's really not that big of a deal. Because the main idea anyway is I just want to capture some of the process of me making a papier-mâché mold of my head. So that's what I'll be doing this evening. I've got everything that I need right here. I already have a portion of my face printed out as a mold. Fits perfectly on my head. There's a little green in there because I was experimenting with an air dry clay to see how well it would work to make a cast, but it shrank too much, so it wasn't keeping the dimensions true. And of course I realized after printing this that I should have just printed it without the eyes, and maybe I should have printed it with some nose holes, but it's okay. I opened them up with a soldering iron, because if somebody was helping me, then I wouldn't need the eyes to be open, but since I'm doing this myself, I need to be able to see what I'm doing. So yeah, what I'm trying to say, I'm thinking in two different terms here. I'm thinking in terms of what I want to say for the tutorial video and what I want to say for just this casual post. So anyway, yeah, I guess I'll say that I could create this cast completely out of papier-mâché. Or I could also completely create the mold out of the printed 3D file. I just got to this point by chance, by the process of experimentation. So I have this 3D scanner that I use to scan my head, and at the time that I did it, it just didn't do the top of my head that well because of the hair up there, even though I had it brushed back, very as tightly as I can get it. It had trouble scanning the surface up here. So the 3D model file that I ended up with had a big hole in the top. So initially, I was just working with my face and the back and sides of my head. So I only have a small 3D printer anyway, so I decided just to start with this portion of my head, because what I'm doing anyway is the main reason for this project is I'm working on custom fit faceware, like adapters for respiratory masks and surgical masks and stuff like that. So anyway, what was I saying? So anyway,
Yeah, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to completely forget what I was just trying to say, and I'm just going to go on to doing this now because I completely lost my train of thought. So I got some Vaseline. I'm going to go light, as lightly as possible on the Vaseline, because it is a pain to get it out of your hair. But so is high gluten flour, which is what I'm going to be using for the papier-mâché. So I've also got some saran wrap here. So let's get the Vaseline in. Hopefully I could just kind of keep it on the surface. Oh, I really would prefer to shave my head. I don't mind having a bald head. Actually, I kind of like being bald. It's low maintenance. I don't mind how I look when I'm bald, but people are very opinionated, and it's annoying to hear all the time, oh, you look so much better with hair. Oh, well, is that right? Yeah. So, anyway. Let's just get some... Oh, thought somebody was knocking at the door. Oh, I should probably shave that down. Had some little hairs sticking up. You either want some length to your hair or you want to be completely shaved. Because if you've got length to your hair, you could lay it down flat. But if it's a certain height, it's just going to want to spike up. And that's going to cause a problem. Because I want to get as close to the true contours of my head as possible. Keep hearing noises. Oh, so greasy. Alright. I'm going to be sweating like a maniac in a moment. It's kind of warm in here. And my head's not going to be able to breathe. Enough. I'm going to use a little Vaseline on my skin just to help this stick. I should have put that on first. So I'm pretty sure I don't have to explain the process of making papier-mâché. I think 99% of everybody out there understands that you could use a wide variety of materials, fabrics and papers, glue, different kinds of glues, any kind of starchy base, anything that will harden and hold a form. So, okay, I think I got enough stick on my head. So today I'll be using a high gluten flour, and paper towels. Now, as I pull it, the Vaseline. Actually, I should get a pair of scissors. I'll be right back. Because I want to trim the excess. I don't want any bunched up, wrinkled material. And you can see the Vaseline, well, it really helps me because I have the shaved sides. If you're doing this and you have a full head of hair, it'll be a little more effort to get this on nice and snug. But since I have the shaved sides and back, the Vaseline, together with the smoothness of my head, allows the saran wrap to get a nice tight suction seal. So I could pull it back, smooth it out, and it's really helping pull my hair down flat against my head. It's almost like I don't have hair at all, which is not too far in the future for me. Alright, so snip that. And that. And let's get behind the head. Oh, garbage is here. Oops. Pulled a little too much. Lift this up, pull it forward. So I only want to pull in one direction. I want to pull the hair back. So if you end up pulling the plastic too far and exposing the hair, you pick it up and start again. Bring it back to the beginning there. Of course, if you have somebody to give you a hand doing this, it's a much easier process. But it's absolutely doable on your own. I think I pulled it. Ended up pulling it back further than I wanted again. Actually, before I lift it off, I've got a lot of excess back here that I don't need. Since I'm filming this, it would be a pain to do it in front of my other mirror. Really, it would be helpful, pretty helpful if I do it the way that I cut my hair. I have a pretty full-length mirror. Usually I sit in front of that and then I use another mirror and I cut my hair. So that would be nice to have in this instance, but since I'm working at the table right now, I don't really feel like dragging that mirror in here. I don't know. I'm just anyway, rambling. Alright, so let's do this one more time. Pick this up. Right there. Yeah. Smooth. Make it nice and smooth. Yes. It's very, very nice. Smooth out sides. No bunching. Still got a couple more. Nice. All right. I could probably go overboard and obsessively try and get this perfectly smooth for hours. I've got to just move forward at this point because this is good enough. A tiny wrinkle here or there isn't gonna matter. You could always smooth out the casting after you do it. This is pretty good. Very very tight, very smooth. Feels good. Feels good. Yes, I feel like a condom. Okay. Now that should stay there. I'll mix this up. So I'm going into this with the idea that I'm going to be making 2 additional parts to this, but I might decide in the middle of doing this that maybe I could just do the whole thing. I think it would be smarter and easier to just do the top and back half and then the back and bottom portion. And you can see I've got these nubs printed onto the mask to help orient the other sections of the papier-mâché mold. So those will help find the correct location so everything's matched up nicely. Alright, so there we go. I should also get something to hold this mask onto my face. Okay. Oh, this won't seem weird at all. Won't seem weird. Ah. I'm gonna have to do. Not the most comfortable position to be in. It would be much nicer if I was laying down and I could rest my phone and then somebody else could put the papier-mâché on me. But we're doing it this way, and we don't really have another choice. So here he goes. A little water. Gonna need more water. Too much water. Yeah. Oh, nice. Yeah, okay. I forgot to take my shirt off. I'm gonna get flour batter all over my shirt. That's gonna suck. Ugh, killing my neck. Too much. So you don't have to saturate every one. You can do a wet layer and a dry layer. And then anytime you have to fold something over that's too dry, you just apply the mixture as necessary. You just brush it on. If it feels really wet, just put another dry layer on. Right, kind of look like one of those old-fashioned nurses. Yeah, that's kind of spooky looking, huh? Oh.
Well, I wanted to do a complete time lapse of, of this process, but the battery in the GoPro started to overheat, and my hands were full of goo, so I couldn't swap the battery out. So it cut off about halfway. And anyway, now I'm just sitting here in front of the fan. Okay, so here's something interesting. So while this is drying on my head, I was trying to do some other stuff, like scrape away the paint up there. So I could repaint it, because it was all crappy and falling down. Anyway, I've been sweating a lot. And then I was just going over to wash my hands, and I noticed there was like this bluish green water on my arm. I was like, what the heck? Where did that come from? It looks like toothpaste or something. And I look in the mirror, and I see this green stuff on my shirt. And it can't possibly be soaking through. So yeah, that air dry clay is, I guess, reactivating somehow. It's not permanently dry. And all the sweat underneath the mask is dripping out and carrying the clay out with it. I want to take this thing off so bad. But it's not dry enough yet. I gotta wear this thing. I gotta wear this thing for a while. Oh my god, my face is so sweaty. So damn sweaty. I'm about to say screw it. I'm gonna print the whole damn thing. It's definitely not dry enough yet. But we're gonna see what happens if I try to take it off. Because I decided at this point that I'm just gonna rescan my head. I'm gonna do it all in 3D. I'm gonna print out the mold in 3 different pieces, and that'll be that. Actually, it's possible that this will hold its shape. Let's remove the plastic and maybe... Wow, I look good. As you can see, it's actually holding the form of my head, even though it is still very wet still. If I'm very careful,
I could put this in something that will maintain its shape. I think I inhaled paint dust when I was scraping off the wall. This can actually still be usable. I should try to salvage this. Well, I shouldn't say salvage. It's not like it's destroyed. And we've got, here, let's get the camera in here. You could see the lip and the dimples. There's a nice impression there, so that will make sure that when we go to line this up again, there's a fairly seamless transition when we put in whatever material we're going to use to make our casting. I'll probably try one with expanding foam, and I definitely want to do one with a material that's could handle higher temperatures. Probably, so I'll probably use like a cement mixture, because I want to work with heat directly on the casting. Yeah, let me find something to put this in. Okay, so that's the best option for it right now. Sitting upside down like that. I don't want to put any pressure on the sides, because then it'll want to collapse in. This is where it's strongest and has the best chance of keeping keeping true to form. So we'll find out once it's fully dried, and then I could put it back on and see if it fits back on my head cleanly. And then what I could do is reinforce it by gluing a harder shell on top of the surface of this. I could use any kind of rigid recycled materials, chopsticks, hot glue them into place. Broken pens or whatever, any kind of junk that could just be glued together and act like a shell. That way this could be used over and over again